Now I know you've seen a lot of paranormal clips and videos, but have you seen this? Wild, right?
Before we show you what that's all about, you might want to psych yourself because today's episode has wild clips like these which show cryptids and paranormal activities in ways you never imagined.
This is Steve, and welcome to Classified Captures.
So we're off north of our property a little bit, and this thing is filled with kids' backpacks.
This particular clip was uploaded on Wiggins Wild World on the 23rd of April. Having purchased a property away from the busy city, they went in search of water to make their dream of living off-grid a reality. This dream will, however, come to an unanticipated halt. No, it's not skinwalkers or Bigfoot. It's something a bit more disturbing.
So we're off north of our property a little bit, and we were looking for places that naturally hold water, and we found this little pond that's north of an arroyo, and this thing is filled with kids' backpacks.
Filled with backpacks.
They came across a land area which had items like boots, bags, and clothes buried in the ground. Bear in mind that they're in the desert, so a sight like this took them off guard. They began wondering what could have happened there and how the items got there in the first place.
It's here.
Don't be too loud, sister, please.
There are kids' backpacks here. I'm armed, but we found a place out in the middle of the desert north of our property that
Being the adventurers they were, they began investigating, and that's when they made another disturbing discovery.
kids' backpacks. Yeah. This is getting really, really weird.
The items belonged to women and children. There were even backpacks included. This left a bitter taste in their mouths and had them worried. Luckily, they were filming the whole thing, which establishes their innocence. The more they looked, however, the more disturbing things they found.
Yeah, we're done. We're gonna head back to the property. Gonna have to contact somebody about this because one of our neighbors was really, really interested when we found bones on our property.
At some point in their search, they even came across bones. They couldn't tell, however, if these were human bones or animal bones.
Sorry, we're kind of in shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to figure this out, but we just found a bunch of backpacks.
They decided to let the authorities come around at this time. Usually when things like these are reported, authorities take it seriously and thank the individuals who reported the scene. Not in their case. They were warned. Authorities asked them to stay away from that particular area and told them if they returned they would be arrested for trespassing. They, however, shared the clip online, and it went viral, perhaps more viral than they anticipated. The next day, a plane flew by as though checking out their trailer. Later, a vehicle came around and parked from a distance while facing them. It's almost like the individuals in it were sizing them up. His wife has since lost her bearings and felt they weren't safe. Even the husband states that he doesn't feel that they're safe. For the first time in a long time, almost everyone online agrees they aren't safe and should probably move. Both paranormal believers and non-believers think they might have stumbled into an area for human trafficking, especially the trafficking of women and children. If they really did stumble into such a place, then they are no doubt in danger as the perpetrators wouldn't mind taking them out to protect their secrets. Some have even suggested starting a GoFundMe to raise money for them to buy another piece of land. I don't know about you, but I find this disturbing and wish that they'd rather move now than later. The last thing we want is to hear that they have gone missing as well. Anyway, what do you think of the whole thing?
A bunch of
There's
signs
more
of,
backpacks.
wildlife activity,
If you dig down,
it's
there's backpacks. There's little kids' backpacks here.
Don't be too loud, sister, please.
There are kids' backpacks here.
I know that was a heavy one to start with, but stepping away from it, we got this clip that comes from a TikToker in the paranormal space. According to her, her sister's motion camera captured this while they were out at a softball game. The clip introduces us to what is a very dark, empty room. Well, almost empty. If you look to the right side of the room, just behind the couch, you should see two beady eyes. A closer look at these eyes, and you would realize they belong to a dog-like creature hiding behind the couch. Its body proportions and makeup of the dog are all weird. It's almost as though the creature has only taken a dog form. Either that, or it's a very sick dog. Members of the paranormal community, when the clip went viral, believed this was nothing but a hellhound. They believe someone in the house is about to experience a terrible fate, which is why the hounds are there. There are a few others who subscribe to the idea that this might in fact be a chupacabra. Naturally, some are up in arms defending the assertion that it's a hellhound. It's been difficult coming to a consensus on this, but your thoughts and opinions might change that. What do you think we're dealing with here? Still on Strange Captures, take a good look at this one. What do you think it is? Personally, I have no idea. It appears to be some sort of sea creature that's a mix between a humanoid and a fish. Some in the community believe this is an Atlantean. Others point out the fact that it's not moving and may just be a figurine or toy shot up close. While those are interesting takes, I can't just help but feel, well, this reminds me more of the Deep from The Boys than anything else. Sounds crazy, I know, but I just couldn't help it. Anyway, on a more serious note, what do you guys really think this is? My team couldn't come to a consensus, and neither has the paranormal community. Perhaps you could be the one to solve the mystery. Please don't hesitate to share your thoughts. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Just in case you were wondering, this is bubble somatics. Bubble somatics is the science of making sound visible using bubbles. When sound waves are played through a thin soap film or bubble, the vibrations cause the liquid surface to shift and ripple, forming beautiful, constantly changing patterns. These patterns are like a fingerprint of the sound, different frequencies creating different shapes. So what you're seeing in this clip isn't just a cool visual effect, it's the actual shape of sound made visible through a delicate dance on a bubble surface. The setup in the clip includes 2 speakers and a bubble between them. It looks like there's a light show going on, but, well, there is none. The creators of the video is making a case that this is the same means God created the world. I know that's a little far-fetched, but it's also the usual thing we hear when we discuss the creation of the world. Sure, popular theories like the Big Bang also include sound, but this one's unique. What do you think? Is it something worth looking into? Let's hear your thoughts on this.
Con lo que hay aquí, con el instrumento, ¿verdad? Porque recordemos que la flauta es un instrumento ancestral. Digo, con mi musita. Vamos a ver qué pasa.
You know how the leaves move in the wind whenever we see a movie about nature with music, especially flute sounds playing in the background? Well, it turns out it might just be the real deal. The man you see on your screens is a flute player, and according to him, whenever he plays the flute, the trees and leaves move in tune with what he's playing. He attempts to show this off in the clip you're watching, and I don't know, but it looks like he might be right. Not all who saw the clip are convinced, though. A few state that he most likely timed and played the flute whenever he felt the wind was going to move and pause when the wind had passed. Others also felt there was a fan somewhere they turned on whenever he was going to play and turned off whenever he was done. The last one sounds like a bit of work, and I can't even imagine how powerful a fan would be needed to pull that one off. Anyway, you guys have seen the clip, so what do you think?
I mean, the flute is a wind instrument after all.
Ever wondered why the Apple logo looks the way it does? I mean, well, why would you use an apple that looks like parts being bitten off instead of the whole thing? There are many wild theories out there, but this current one might be the wildest. According to the theory, the logo is a representation of the Adam and Eve story. The missing chunk represents the fall of mankind and the many sins we've committed and continue to commit. The theory even adds that Siri is actually Irish spelled backwards. Why is this important? Well, it's a bit of wordplay, but something about the eye watching over you no matter where you go. After all, you always have your iPhone or iPhone. You get what I'm saying? Also, it's believed that the company actually goes back much further than Steve Jobs. It's believed to be an ancient organization that's always existed amongst the elite or higher-ups in society. These individuals work behind the scenes and have been orchestrating the downfall of mankind in each era. The technologies they create are just some of the tools they intend to achieve their aim. I know what you're thinking. It's too much. It's just too ridiculous. Apple? Oh, they look the most evil, right? But well, maybe it's all a facade. Many in the comments section of the original post agreed. Others thought it was a bit of a stretch. Some mentioned it looked like that so it's not confused with a cherry, but not many were buying it. One thing to keep in mind is one of Apple's earliest flagship products sold for $666.66. That was a lot of money back then, but that's not the focus. Pay attention to the numbers. Do you see it now? Ring a bell? And yes, that's 666, the mark of the beast. I know I've already said too much, but before you dismiss it, please think about it. The clip you're seeing on your screens was captured by a CCTV cam in a remote area. The motorcycle seemingly lost control on a rainy day and crashed. People rushed to his aid, but instead of admitting the rain may have contributed to the unfortunate circumstance, he claims he saw something, a dark being. Instead of accusing him and telling him he was seeing things like he expected to hear after making the confession, everyone present became quiet. This was allegedly something that happened in the community over and over. They had a cemetery nearby, and the individuals were suspecting that the spirits from the cemetery come out to roam at night. When the CCTV camera footage was reviewed, they found a shadowy being or creature showing up on the opposite side of the street just around the time the man appeared and crashed. This, to many, was proof that the man had indeed encountered an otherworldly being. While many in the paranormal community found this interesting, a few others felt it was basically the shadow of a person and nothing more. This one's a bit tricky, but take a good look and tell me what you think. If you've worked a late-night shift in your life, then perhaps you can relate to this video. The young man you see in the clip is a cleaner by profession, and he was working at the underground level of the hospital late at night when he was interrupted. An older lady tugs his shirt and tells him she's lost. She then tells him where she wants to go and asks for directions. He leads her to the elevator and sets the right floor for her. As she gets in, he holds the door, and once she's safely in, she thanked him and then uttered some chilling words. "Thank you so much. I'm grateful even though I couldn't see your face." At first, the words don't register, and he smiles and waves back. After the lady leaves, he feels a chill and dread. It was as if though the lady he encountered was not of this world, but that shouldn't be possible, right? He asked himself these questions over and over. While thinking about the whole thing, he spots the CCTV camera and then runs to the tech team to beg them to watch it. He wanted to see the footage. When he saw the footage, his jaw dropped. Why? He was the only one in the clip. There was no old lady. He looked like a crazy person talking to himself. He swore he was not alone and that he even smelt a perfume. Some in the paranormal community believe him. They shared their own experiences. Others also believe he was imagining things due to exhaustion. But you've seen the clip, so what do you also think? We visit Sao Paulo, Brazil for this next clip. The clip was captured by a group of friends who were left rather stunned by the sight. It happened on May the 2nd, 2025 in Pirapora de Bom Jesus, Sao Paulo, Brazil. The group had their phones out casually filming the sky when something odd caught their attention, an unusual formation just beneath the clouds. This wasn't your average cloud pattern. It had definition, it had structure, and most bizarre of all, it cast a shadow. The friends could hardly believe what they were seeing. Was it a UFO, a portal, some kind of interdimensional doorway? No one can say for sure, but one thing was clear. It didn't look like anything from this world. They uploaded it seeking answers, and all who saw it were as puzzled as the uploaders. But maybe, just maybe, you guys may be seeing things differently. So what do you think? Something natural or something far stranger?
All right, y'all, we're down here at the truck stop. You don't believe in UFOs? Look at that man. A UFO flying around this morning.
This clip was captured by an individual named Randy Ayers in California. The individual filming was so excited by what he saw, he was calling out all non-believers in UFOs. It appears to have been recorded at a truck stop in broad daylight. There's a combination you seldom see when you see UFO clips, and to be fair, we don't exactly see the whole craft, but we see enough to suggest it's something alien. I mean, do you know any human crafts that look like this? No, right? Not long after Randy shared this clip, another was shared from California. This was also allegedly recorded in California, but at night. So why are UFOs being picked up around this area, especially in California? Is there a coming wave we need to be aware of, or are Californians just making things up? None of my team members live in California, so we're unable to verify. If you live there and have experienced strange things, you know what to do. Kindly send us a mail, classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. There's something unsettling about walking alone at night. The silence can feel too loud, and you get the feeling that something or someone is watching. For one person, that eerie feeling turned out to be horrifyingly real. Someone was out for a walk one quiet night when they happened to look up, and what they saw made their blood run cold. There, high up in the branches, were a pair of glowing eyes staring down at them. At first, it might have seemed like an animal, but as their eyes adjusted, they realized those eyes weren't from any owl or raccoon. No, they were set in something human-shaped. The head was distinctly human and pale, with an outline that stood out eerily against the night sky. It didn't blink, it just watched. That pretty much rules out most common nocturnal animals. No owl or opossum has a head shaped like that, or eyes that feel like they're staring straight into your soul. Some who've seen the image believe it might be a rake, others say it's a skinwalker. We couldn't see its full body, so we cannot conclude, but what do you think was watching from the trees that night? Technology was supposed to make us feel safer. With smart locks, door sensors, and home security cameras, you'd think we'd finally be able to sleep easily. But with more and more people investing in home security systems, it's no surprise that weird things occasionally get caught on camera, especially at night. One man decided to randomly check footage from his indoor security camera one afternoon. He didn't expect anything unusual, just a boring clip of someone asleep in the bedroom. But what he saw made his stomach drop. The bedroom door was wide open, and just outside it, moving past in the hallway, was a faint ghostly figure. It was wearing white. Whatever it was, it didn't walk. It glided. At first he thought maybe someone else in the house had gotten up during the night, but after checking with every single person living there, he confirmed that no one had left their rooms, no one was up at that hour, and no one owned white clothing like that. The man is now fully convinced that something paranormal had entered his home. Before this footage, he never had a single ghostly encounter, no strange dreams, nothing out of place, but now he's afraid he's opened a door he cannot close. So what do you think that ghostly figure really was?
Are you talking?
They say walls remember things, and when a house has a dark past, like being a former funeral home, well, it's only a matter of time before something starts reaching through. This particular house you're looking at isn't just old, it's reportedly a former funeral home. So from the very beginning, the odds of peace are not that great. A man bought the property and moved in, not knowing just how strange things were to get. What started as a new beginning quickly became a daily encounter with the unexplained. One night, he was in his room when he suddenly heard a low, strange, almost human-like sound coming from somewhere down the hall. He grabbed his camera and stepped out to investigate, but he saw nothing. But as he turned into his room, an unseen entity appeared directly in front of him out of nowhere. It spooked him so badly that you can hear his reaction in the video, and you can see the thing on camera. It's dark and humanoid in shape. It looks like a solid black shadow, clearer than most typical ghost footage, not some blurry smudge. This thing had form. According to the man, encounters like this are nearly a daily occurrence in the house. He's seen these figures so often, they become a part of his routine. But even with all that experience, it's obvious from his reaction he never really got used to them. And then there's another clip. In this one, a dark figure can be seen outside the house, standing completely still, just staring into his room from the window. And honestly, that one might be even more disturbing than the one inside. So are these spirits lingering from the house's past as a funeral home? Are they entities drawn to the energy of the place?
Are you talking?
There's something about the Appalachian Mountains. Beautiful, sure, but beneath all that nature and silence, something strange always seems to be watching. And if you know anything about the folklore, then you know it's not always just animals out there. This woman was on a solo trip, just her and a dog, staying at a rented house in the Appalachian Mountains. And one afternoon, they were outside filming a cute little video. It was peaceful until suddenly it wasn't. From out of nowhere, this loud, spine-chilling scream ripped through the air. It came from the direction of the nearby woods. You can hear it in the footage, a mix between a woman shrieking and something completely unnatural, almost like it wasn't meant to come from a human. The dog heard it too. Immediately, it turned toward the trees, ears perked up, alert. It barked a few times, clearly disturbed. That was enough for her. She grabbed the dog and headed straight back into the house, locking the door behind her. She had no idea what it could have been, but for anyone familiar with the region, this could be anything. The Appalachian Mountains aren't just scenic, they are strange. From unexplained lights to phantom screams and sightings of bizarre creatures, this place is like a magnet for the paranormal. We're talking cryptids, spirit folklore, even whispers of things like the Knot, deer, or skinwalkers, and beings you don't want to run into, especially alone at night. So what do you think made that sound? Most people think they know what Bigfoot looks like, the tall, upright, walking like a human. But what happens when something doesn't fit the usual image? Well, that's when things get interesting. A man shared some shaky footage he captured while out walking in the woods. At first glance, well, it's easy to brush off until you hear what he says he saw. According to him, this creature was originally walking on two legs like a typical Bigfoot, but then it suddenly dropped down and charged at him on all fours. The creature looks ape-like, but not massive. It wasn't as big as the Bigfoot we usually hear about. That's why the man believes it may have been a juvenile Bigfoot. Now, the footage itself shows a creature down on all fours. It's quick, dark, and difficult to make out clearly. But crawling on all fours, that's not typical for Bigfoot sightings. Most reports describe them as strictly bipedal. So is this a young Sasquatch adjusting to its limbs, or are we looking at something else entirely? It's hard to say for sure. If Bigfoot is out there, maybe we've only seen the adults, maybe the young ones behave differently, or maybe, just maybe, we're all being fooled. Let me know what you think in the comments. There's something deeply unsettling about being watched, especially when you didn't even realize it until after the fact. This woman was out on her patio around 1 a.m. waiting for her husband to get back from work. Their baby was awake too, so she stepped outside with the little one, trying to calm him down in the night air. Their home had a security camera installed, so the whole scene was being recorded. As she gently rocked the baby over her shoulder, something strange happened. The baby suddenly stared toward the gate as if something caught their attention, and that's when the woman started to feel uneasy. As the camera zooms in, you can see a pale, white face barely visible peeking through the gaps in the gate. It wasn't moving much, just watching. The face looked thin, ghostly, and wrong, almost inhuman. At the time she brushed it off, she thought it was her husband playing a prank, but then he walked in at 3 a.m., 2 hours after the sighting. She asked him if he'd come home early to mess with her, and he said no, he hadn't been anywhere near the house. That's when they both reviewed the security footage together, and both were completely shaken. Some say it was a spirit, others think it might have been something more physical, but not exactly human. And the creepiest part is that the baby saw it first. Let me know what you think in the comments. Sometimes it's not about what you hear in the night, it's what you finally see when the cameras start rolling. And in this case, what a family caught on tape might just explain the strange things haunting their home. A family had been dealing with weird disturbances for months. Every night, like clockwork, strange noises echoed from the backyard, from bumps to rustling and the feeling that something or someone was out there. But whenever they checked, nothing, no signs of an intruder. So finally they decided to set up a camera, and what they captured one night left them stunned. In the middle of the night, the footage shows a dark, shadowy figure crawling across the wall. Then, without warning, it seems to leap or drop into the house. The figure is dark, small, and moves unnaturally fast. Now, the family believes this is the entity that's been haunting them all along, but here's where it gets interesting. If you watch the footage closely, the way it moves quickly, sleek, and low to the ground and looks like a cat, there's this odd coiled movement that reminds me of how a cat might spring off of something. But that's just my take, though. What do you think? These two girls were just trying to take a photograph together at the Alabama Theater in Birmingham. It's known as one of the most haunted places in the entire city. It's old, grand, and full of eerie energy. But when they checked the picture afterward, they caught something they definitely weren't expecting. Right behind them in the shot, two figures that weren't there when the photograph was taken. The first looks like a woman. She's tall, with long black hair and a strikingly white face. Her eyes seem sunken with dark curves or shadows surrounding them, almost like she's wearing some kind of mask or heavy makeup. It's almost doll-like, but not in a good way. The second figure is even more unsettling. Standing nearby is a darker presence like a shadow, and when you look closer, it resembles a man in a long dark robe, but you can't make out his face. Neither of them were seen by the girls at the time, but they were clearly there in the photograph. It's obvious what they are. You never really think much about a storage room, just boxes, shelves, and dust, but sometimes these forgotten spaces hold more than just old belongings. This eerie footage was shared from a security camera set up inside a storage room. At first, it looks like just another dimly lit space with shelves scattered with boxes and quiet. But then, something moves. A transparent figure can be seen walking through the storage area. It moves like it's searching for something. The figure is faint, almost see-through, but clear enough to make out the human-like shape. Now, there's no solid history of death or tragedy tied to this building, at least not that we know of, but sightings like this always have a backstory. So what do you think the spirit could be? A restless soul searching for something lost? Or maybe this space holds a past no one wants to talk about? Have you ever noticed how almost every device you own, from your TV, your charger, your speaker, your router, has a small blue light on it? It might seem harmless, but there's a deeper and much stranger story behind why that little glow is everywhere. I came across some bizarre footage that breaks it all down, and according to it, the obsession with blue lights didn't start in tech labs or corporate design rooms. It started with the mafia. Back in the day, Vegas mobsters reportedly discovered that slot machines with soft blue lighting kept people locked in. Gamblers would zone out, linger longer, and pour in more money. That glow had a kind of hypnotic spell. Once word got out, the technique didn't stay in Vegas for long. The CIA caught wind of this blue light trick and began experimenting with it during the infamous MK program. After that, blue lights went mainstream. Now we see them everywhere, in our homes, on our phones, on our devices. What started as a psychological manipulation tool may have been quietly folded into daily life, and no one questioned it. Think about it. We're staring at our screens for hours, often late at night, with blue light blasting into our eyes. It messes with our sleep, it keeps us hooked, it might even help keep us suggestible, all from something as simple as a glow. Does it mean we're living in a digital trance, hypnotized by one notification at a time? Sometimes it's not what you see that unsettles you. It's what moves without reason, and in this case, the bar wasn't serving just drinks, something else was there. This footage comes from a security camera set up at a bar. You can see a woman behind the counter casually mixing drinks at her station. But as she pours a second drink, the bottle is yanked out of her hand and pulled across the counter by an unseen force. You can tell she's stunned. She just stands there, frozen, trying to process what just happened. No one else is near her, no one is behind the bar, and nothing explains how that bottle moved like that. Let's watch it again. See that? It doesn't look like it was dropped. It doesn't even fall naturally. It glides like something grabbed it and dragged it. Now, the skeptics say it could have been faked, maybe a string tied to the bottle or a magnet trick, but most people who've watched the footage believe it's real. Maybe this bar has a past, or something or someone didn't like how she was mixing those drinks. Some of the creepiest encounters happen when you're just minding your own business until something catches your eye. And sometimes it's what's not there anymore that chills you to the bone. A man was out late doing some deliveries in the middle of the night when he saw something strange. On the side of the road, just to the right, he noticed a child, a small figure sitting on a swing, gently rocking back and forth in the dark. It immediately struck him as odd. It was late. There weren't any nearby houses. Why would a child be out alone at that hour? Curious and a bit concerned, he slowed down and pulled over to get a better closer look. Maybe it was just his eyes playing tricks on him, but when he turned to check again, the child was gone. No one was there. Just the swing, still rocking slowly back and forth as if someone had just been sitting on it seconds ago. He said the air around him felt cold, like the temperature had dropped. There were no sounds, just the eerie creaking of the swing in the wind. Or was it wind? Some are saying it was a ghost child, others saying it's just a creepy coincidence, but either way, that swing didn't move on its own. What do we have here? A tank full of strange slug-like creatures suddenly losing their minds. And no, this isn't a horror movie, it's real life. Let's take a closer look. They're long, slimy, and squirming all over each other, so what exactly are we looking at? These are lampreys. They're an invasive species known for their creepy eel-like bodies and circular suction cup mouths filled with rows of sharp teeth. They're notorious for attaching themselves to other fish and sucking the life out of them. They're hard to get rid of, and in some waters, they've become a serious problem. But in this footage, it looks like something triggered them. The most likely explanation is that someone might have added the scent of a dead lamprey into the water. Yeah, you heard that right. One method people use to deter or control lampreys involves adding the smell of their dead into the water. They hate it and go into a panic. Based on how these ones are acting, that could very well be what's happening here. Some mysteries just won't die, and mermaids are one of them. No matter how many times they pop up in legends, sightings, or footage, people stay curious, and when you see this next clip, you'll understand why. Take a close look at this footage. Right beneath the surface of the water, a strange figure swims by. It's not fully human either. You can make out a human-like torso, but the lower half is the classic fishtail shape. The creature seems to glide effortlessly through the water, and for a moment, it makes you wonder if it could be one of the mythical sirens or mermaids we've all heard about. Whether you call them mermaids, sirens, or sea spirits, stories of these beings have existed across cultures for centuries. Oh, and by the way, did you know that in Scotland they call them the Machdi Mara? Yeah, that's a bit of information for you. From West Africa's Mami Wata to the Greek sirens to the Celtic Selkies, it seems like every corner of the world has its version. And honestly, no matter how many times this kind of footage comes out, I'm still fascinated. Some say it's all hoaxes, some say it's misidentified marine life, but part of me wonders, what if even one of these sightings was real? Have you ever found something in your house that makes you stop and question everything? Well, this woman definitely did. She'd been living in the house for about a year until she decided to rearrange some furniture. Specifically, she moved 2 very large bookshelves in one of the rooms, and that's when she found it. A door. Not just any door, but one that had clearly been taped shut and deliberately hidden behind those shelves. She called in for some help, and they opened the door. And what did they find? A staircase leading up to a large, hidden room. Turns out it was a spacious attic, one she never knew existed. Now, if you've watched enough horror movies, you know that attics aren't just dusty storage spaces, and the fact that this one was completely sealed off, it's making people suspicious. Online folks are saying the attic was sealed because something dark and dangerous was up there, like an entity, perhaps? Something the previous owners didn't want getting out or being found. But on the flip side, some are saying the internet is just spiraling. It could just be an old, unused attic, and the tape was meant to keep dust or animals out. But what do you think?
Oh!
I mean, you're not gonna hang out up here, but
Oh, cobwebs. Oh, motherfucker.
Yeah, you can convert this into a pretty sweet, like...
Dang! That's actually pretty cool.
If you thought the worst soda experience was just losing the fizz, think again, because what one person found at the bottom of their can will haunt you until the next time you pop one open. So here's what happened. Someone had just finished drinking an entire can of soda, but then they noticed something odd. Maybe the taste was off, maybe the weight of the can still felt a little heavy. Curious, they peeked into the drinking hole, and there it was, a dead rat. They drank the entire thing, not knowing a decomposing rodent had been marinating in there the whole time. Just imagine that. The flavor must have been weird, the smell probably off, but still they drank it all. People are wondering how something like this could even happen. Was it a freak accident during packaging, or just the worst quality control fail in history? Whatever the case, this is your not-so-friendly reminder to check your drinks, because next time, it might not just be bubbles you're sipping. What would you do if you found something like this inside your soda? Sometimes the scariest things don't happen in the dark. They show up in plain view when you least expect them, like in your mirror. This woman had just come back home from a day out. She cleaned up, got comfortable, sat in front of her mirror to relax. Her cat lay beside her, scratching and purring as they played together. It was a wholesome moment. So she decided to record it. Nothing drastic, just her cat, and the quiet. The camera was positioned facing the mirror, capturing both her and her cat in the reflection. But when she watched the footage back, something was wrong. In the mirror's reflection, there weren't just the two of them. There was a third presence. Its face was positioned just behind her, watching. And at that moment, well, she felt nothing. It was just a normal evening. But in the footage, that face is undeniable. A pale, expressionless face staring intently at her and her cat from just behind her shoulder. People who've seen the video are torn. Some think it's a glitch or a double exposure. Others say it's a spirit that made itself known through the mirror. What do you think? Sometimes the ocean doesn't just wash up shells or driftwood, it brings something out of nightmares. This footage comes from the Philippines and is said to have been recorded back in 2022. What washed ashore left locals stunned and the internet buzzing. It was a massive, white creature that lay dead on the beach. It wasn't like any ordinary sea creature. This thing had raised a sharp, almost human-like teeth set deep inside a wide, gaping mouth. The kind of teeth that weren't made for grazing, they were made for tearing. Men crowded around the body, confused and disturbed. Some poked at it, while others just stared. It didn't like any known fish, whale, or marine animal. It had thick white hair all over it, and the jaw looked predatory. Some locals said it might be a cryptid, others said it could have come from the deepest parts of the sea. But as with any strange discovery, there were skeptics. Some claimed it was just a decomposed whale, bloated beyond recognition. Others called it an elaborate hoax. But what do you think it is? Bungee jumping is one of those things that looks thrilling from a distance, but up close, well, it's a whole different story, especially in places like China where it's become incredibly popular and viral videos pop up every other day. But with popularity comes risk, and sometimes people get so caught up in the thrill that they forget one very important detail: safety. Recently, a video went viral of a man leaping off a cliff for a bungee jump, except it looked like he wasn't strapped in at all. No visible safety cords, nothing, just pure freefall. So the internet freaked out. People started digging into the video to figure out what had happened. Thankfully, it turned out he was secured, well, sort of. If you look closely, you'll see that instead of the usual setup of multiple visible cords, he was only hooked to a single blue rope. That one cord was strong enough to catch him and bring him back safely, but honestly, it was cutting it way too close for comfort. In most bungee jumps, multiple cords and checks are part of the standard setup. This looks sloppy, and if that one cord had failed, the outcome would have been fatal. So while bungee jumping might give you the adrenaline rush of a lifetime, don't let the excitement rush your safety checks. Always make sure every single rope is secured, double-checked, and verified.
Because in this game, there's no second chance, and I'm telling you now, you would never, ever stick a cord around me and get me to jump off of anything. Not ever. Not ever.
Готов.
Готовы? Внимание, прыжок. Ready, set, go!
I'm not exactly sure where this footage was taken, but just look at this sky. Something mesmerizing is happening up there. Hovering above a city is the glowing orb, and from it, beams of light shoot out in all directions. It's almost hypnotic the way the lights dance across the clouds and shift like they're alive. The first thing people shouted was UFO, but let's not jump to conclusions too fast. If you look closely, the light doesn't behave like a solid object. There's no visible structure, just projections. That's got a lot of people thinking it could be a hologram display, and honestly, that theory makes sense. Hologram technology has gotten so good recently that it can easily fool the eye. We've seen entire light shows in the sky, concerts with virtual performers, and even drone displays that mimic flying objects. What do you think this was? This eerie clip goes all the way back to 2016 when a group of people were out exploring the mountainside near Wild Horse Lake in Oregon. They were just taking in the views, snapping some photographs, nothing out of the ordinary, until they caught this. On the far side of the lake, something strange happens. A humanoid figure suddenly emerges from the water and immediately takes off running. Now, if you know anything about Oregon, you know it's a Bigfoot hotspot, so of course, a lot of people were quick to say it was Bigfoot, but not everyone's convinced. Some skeptics think it's just a person out for a swim, maybe someone pulling a prank or just having some fun in the lake. Still, there's something about how fast it runs that keeps people open for debate. So, did this group accidentally film a cryptid, or is it just a wet jogger in the wrong place at the wrong time? This unsettling footage comes from a man working alone in a warehouse in Peru. He shared not only a video but also a chilling photograph he managed to capture that same night. And let me tell you, it's one of those images that stays with you. It all started when he began hearing the unmistakable sound of a little girl's voice echoing through the warehouse. He was completely alone at the time. He quickly turned his camera around, scanning the area, but there was nothing, just empty aisles and rows of containers, no sign of anyone. But later, he posted a photo he took that same night, and that's where things get creepy. In the image, you can see what looks like a ghostly little girl standing in front of one of the large storage containers. What's even weirder is the two cats are sitting by her feet, one black, one white. They aren't moving, just calmly sitting there beside her. Locals say this warehouse is believed to be haunted by the spirit of a young girl, and judging by this footage and photograph, it seems like she's still very much around. So what do you think? Still in Asia, let's go to Shenyang, China. A peculiar phenomena caught the attention of numerous onlookers, a mysterious pillar of light stretching into the sky. The scene gathered a crowd eager to capture the enigmatic occurrence on camera. Even experts, upon analyzing the spectacle, found themselves at a loss for a definitive explanation. Various theories were proposed by those witnessing the event. Some speculated that it could be an unusual cloud formation, while others considered the possibility of water vapor contributing to the optical display. Despite collective efforts to decipher the nature of the phenomena, a concrete answer remains a mystery. The unidentified pillar of light stands as a captivating and unexplained occurrence, leaving both spectators and experts intrigued by its enigmatic presence. A puzzling video emerges on Instagram, drawing the gaze of intrigued onlookers. In the footage, a strange dark object is seen cruising through the sky. As it moves, something even stranger appears from the opposite direction, a glowing orb. But the orb moves faster than the dark object. As the radiant orb and the dark object come together, an incredible transformation unfolds. The dark entity seems to be swallowed by the glowing sphere, making the sphere bigger and glow brighter. The now glowing orb appears to shrink as it continues its journey forward until, poof, it vanishes. Can someone explain what we just saw? You don't need to be a scientist to know this isn't natural, but that doesn't automatically mean you know what it could be. This is so unbelievable that many have called the footage fake. What do you also think? This next one is a capture from a paranormal group I was gifted the opportunity to be a part of. I don't need to tell you what this creature is, do I? It was captured on a trail cam of one of the participants of the group. According to him, he's encountered this being before and has barely escaped with his life. He was out exploring the woods when it got dark. In his bid to get home, he took a shortcut, and that's where his woes began. He felt the creature stalk and follow him. He couldn't tell, but it had dark fur and a menacing growl. He tried running away and eventually stumbled. That's when the creature revealed itself in its full glory. Once he saw its sharp teeth, he knew he was a goner until a party of hunters came his way with its sharp teeth. The only reason he escaped with his life was because there was a party of hunters heading his way. The creature heard them and retreated, yet no one would believe his story. This is why he fixed the trail cams. It took a year and some months, but he finally had his proof and wanted the world to see it. At least that's what he said. Some people believe his story, while some think it's just AI imagery with a lot of lies. You have seen the capture yourself now. What do you make of it? This mysterious clip has had the whole paranormal community talking. I mean, it's not often you see a creature like this moving across a river in the heart of the woods. What creature is it? Well, if you have been on this page long enough, then you definitely know I'm going to call that out to be a Bigfoot. I mean, the bipedal form and the fur are dead giveaways. The question is, where was this taken, and was it alone? Celebrities have always got to have security on them wherever they go for obvious reasons, but has the thought of a superhuman body ever crossed your mind? This footage is taken of the football legend Messi. Fans saw him and were gathering around to take pictures. At first, it looks like he's walking alone until out of nowhere, his bodyguard appears rushing toward him. Take a look at the footage again. Did you see that? It's like he just materialized out of nowhere. Is this a glitch in the Matrix, or is there a more logical explanation? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. On Christmas morning, a family gathered around the Christmas tree to unravel their gifts. This little girl was so excited and jumping up and down when she realized that she'd been gifted a miniature Minnie Mouse couch. As she was screaming with joy, someone was filming the whole thing, probably having in mind to document this happy family time. However, as the family revisits the footage to relive the joyous occasion, an unsettling revelation surfaces. The eyes of the Minnie Mouse on the couch, seemingly innocuous at first, appear to blink. Could it be a mischievous spirit, or perhaps a holiday prank from a mischievous elf that brought Minnie Mouse to life for a brief and eerie moment? It's hard to put a finger on it, but you have also seen the footage. What do you think is happening here? In the eerie depths of an abandoned building, a daring explorer stumbled upon a rather unusual scene.
Bueno, quédense tranquilos.
In the backyard of this building were 5 wooden chairs meticulously arranged in a circle, facing each other. While this may look ordinary to some, something strange occurs in the middle of that circle of chairs. Dried leaves, seemingly guided by an unseen force, twirled in a haunting dance, forming a perfect circle. The unnatural choreography of these leaves raises a chilling question. Was the arrangement of these chairs a purposeful attempt to create a vortex, a mysterious portal, or a focal point for paranormal energy? The concept of a vortex, thought by some to be a swirling gateway between dimensions, could explain the eerie movement of the leaves at the center. Such occurrences are often linked to supernatural events and paranormal activity. Do you think there's something paranormal really happening here, or are we simply overthinking and blowing things out of proportion? Share your thoughts. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode.
Oh my god.
A guy captures not one, but 2 moons in the sky, with one trailing behind the other. We're not talking about atmospheric illusions or misty reflections. These are actual moons sharing the celestial space. But how? The truth is, no one knows for certain. Can you help? Julius wants to sit out of this one and wants to see what you guys can come up with. Share your thoughts in the comments section. After a short break from the big guy, it sounds like we've got another chapter in the ongoing saga of Bigfoot sightings. In a recent encounter, a group of friends found themselves driving through the night near a wooded area. All was going smoothly until their car's headlights unveiled a mysterious figure concealed among the trees. The creature in question matched the classic descriptions of a Bigfoot, towering at a height of 7 to 8 feet, covered in thick black fur, and possessing robust arms wrapped around a substantial tree, a distinctive hallmark of these mysterious beings. Despite being noticed by the occupants of the car, the creature appeared nonchalant, sparing them only a casual glance or two before maintaining its stance in the shadows of the night. Do you think this is a genuine encounter with the creature of myth and legend, or perhaps just a hairy wanderer minding its own business? Venturing into the heart of the forest in the dead of night, an individual encounters an eerie revelation. A pair of glowing eyes appeared behind a tree, staring right at him. The eyes were red, and he believed it could be a rake or skinwalker. Undeterred by the ominous atmosphere and instinctual fear, the person made a bold choice to venture deeper into the woods, driven by the desire to unravel the mystery behind those glowing eyes. The unsettling encounter took an unexpected turn as the mysterious creature, sensing the man's presence, promptly retreated into the shadows. Come to think of it, if it was any of the creatures mentioned, would they have attacked the person or run, looking at how lost they were? This makes others think that the creature was probably a raccoon or that the whole thing was a hoax. Even Aaron, the skinwalker expert, shares this sentiment. What about you? Although technology has made incredible strides in recent years, there has always been groundbreaking and innovative ideas that paved the way for today's advancements. Take, for example, this alleged clip of the Toyota Townhouse concept car designed in 1991. This forward-thinking design envisioned a future where cars were not just vehicles but integrated living spaces. The Toyota Townhouse was allegedly more than just a car. It was a mobile home equipped with various features that made it possible to live comfortably while on the move. The design included a spacious interior that could be reconfigured for different purposes such as sleeping, working, or relaxing. It even supposedly had amenities that would rival those of a small apartment. This concept was a bold step towards imagining how vehicles could be more than just a means of transportation. It showed the potential for cars to become versatile living spaces, reflecting a lifestyle of mobility and flexibility that's increasingly relevant today. After coming across this, I found it a refreshing look into the past, but try as I may, I couldn't find a lot of sources with info on this car. If you were much older in the 90s, can you confirm if you saw this or not? Stepping away from the mechanical wonder, we've got another being that's left us a tad conflicted. That's not normal, right? That's a human being moving on all fours in a manner that's definitely a bit weird. Beyond that, he's barely had any clothes on and appears to be slender, much more slender than you would expect a normal man to be. A closer look and you'll realize that his ankles are bent in a way you would expect an animal to be. The owner of the CCTV cam saw this and alerted the neighbors. One of them reported that their home had been broken into, and the cams confirmed it was this person or creature. The question now is, who or what do you think this person is, and why is it roaming the neighborhood? The truth is, no one knows. Some think it may be a skinwalker, while others think the whole thing might be a hoax. Which of these schools of thought do you subscribe to? It's been a while, but I thought we'd bring back the bonus segment this year. This is where you watch the footage and accurately describe what you think you're seeing. Now that the explanation is out of the way, what do you think this creature is? If you believe you know, simply write it down in the comment section. Start with the comment bonus, and then tell us what it is and why you think it's so. We pick out the best comment and feature it in our next episode. All the best. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send Mr. Bigfoot after you now, would you? I thought as much. Takes us to the aftermath of a heavy snowstorm in Europe in 2014, where a man walking his dog stumbled upon a bizarre sight in a frozen pond. In the middle of the icy expanse, there's a peculiar sight. A hole that seems to be breathing, with water rhythmically flowing in and out of some strange tentacle-like creature-looking thing moving around the hole. And to make it worse, there was a reddish fluid in the center also moving as the hole pulsated. This enigmatic occurrence sparked various interpretations and speculations. Some suggested that it could be a natural process, proposing that the red color might be attributed to mineral deposits, possibly iron. Others proposed more fantastical explanations, such as the idea of lava breaching from below, causing a slow pulsating effect that melted the ice in the pond. But that doesn't explain those tentacle-looking things in the water. That's where our next theory comes in. Some say this could be the rare water sarlacc. But that's quite the pill to swallow. Having seen it yourself, what do you think this could be? An ordinary and natural process, a geothermal display, or the icy lair of the mythical water sarlacc? These days, there are a lot of sights in the sky which more often than not don't add up. From orbs to light formations that resemble saucers to shape-shifting objects, the skies seem to be filled with mysteries. Someone recently shared this intriguing footage of a strange light up in the sky moving at a questionable speed. The footage shows a bright, distinct light moving across the sky in a manner that defies the usual patterns of conventional aircraft. Its speed and the way it maneuvers suggest it could be something extraordinary. This object is obviously not the everyday plane you and I use. It looks more like a spacecraft of some sort. Having seen it, what do you think? Could this be advanced human tech that's being kept from the public eye? Or are we witnessing something from another world? Share your thoughts in the comments section. This definitely doesn't look like anything you and I have encountered in our lives, does it? Well, I shouldn't speak for you because I've no idea what you've experienced, but this certainly is not normal. It looks like a humanoid creature with a mechanical makeup and wings attached. I know that's a mouthful, but it describes the exact thing we're dealing with right now. Once more, it appears to be moving its legs. The face shows no signs of life because, well, it doesn't look like skin or flesh. Naturally, I showed this to my team, and a number of them thought it might be a toy. Aaron, on the other hand, thought it might be a living creature from a plane that's not ours. For those who don't know Aaron, he's our conspiracy theorist, and he sees some conspiracy here. Our science whiz Julius, however, thinks this was put out there by someone to mislead the paranormal community. What do you think, though? Could this thing be alive, or are we simply trying to find a story where there isn't one? Share your thoughts. Buckle up for this next one as we journey into the realms of the extraterrestrial because we got another UFO tale to unpack. The footage introduces us to a car cruising along with something mysterious covered in black polythene on top of it. While the rational mind may suggest that the mysterious cargo could be an ordinary object or perhaps a toy or some machinery, the allure of the unknown persists. A toy won't have such an entourage, and you have to agree that the mysterious cargo looks suspiciously like a saucer. But then again, why would the government transport a saucer via road in such a package when they know people can easily pick it up? That doesn't add up, which makes the whole thing a tad mysterious and confusing. Many keep trying to say what they think it might be, but no one can say for sure what it really is. So what's your take on this out-of-this-world encounter? Are we witnessing a close encounter of the playful kind, a cosmic joyride, or just a top-secret delivery from the intergalactic toy emporium? Feel free to let your imagination soar and share your best wild theories. While embarking on a seemingly ordinary boat ride, an unsuspecting Facebook user stumbled upon something rather intriguing. After sharing the video of his wild adventure on social media, an observant viewer drew the attention of the uploader to a curious presence in the water. Upon closer examination, you can make out a pair of human-like arms and the head of black hair. The mysterious entity navigates the river with an uncanny agility, swimming at a pace that defies conventional expectations. If it were a human, the need for air would require resurfacing, yet the creature continues its aquatic ballet beneath the surface. This has led us, including Aaron, the skinwalker lover, to entertain the idea that the boat stumbled upon a real-life mermaid. Now, the question remains, was it just enjoying a leisurely swim beneath the waves, or was there a more sinister reason? I guess we'll never know. You're probably wondering why we're showing you someone's bedroom, right? Well, wait a sec, and there it is. Do you hear those loud banging or knocking sounds? This has apparently been going on for a while, and the woman was the only one who noticed.
Baby, wake up! What the fuck? What the fuck, baby? Wake up, wake up, wake up! Something just open the door.
The man always seemed to be very deep in sleep anytime something like this happened, and the woman found it weird. They installed a camera to know what was really happening, and this is the result. The man still slept through it. What do you think could be happening here, and why does the man always sleep through it? Some think it's demonic, while others think they're just faking it. What do you think?
Wake up! What the fuck?
In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a captivating and mystifying scene unfolded as someone managed to capture a mesmerizing sight from a distance. Among the thick cluster of trees, a red orb appeared, rising gracefully as if emerging from the heart of the lush vegetation. This glowing spectacle resembled a fiery flame. But what could it be? There are indigenous beliefs and folklore that often speak of nature spirits and guardians dwelling in the depths of the jungle. Could this be one of them? Aaron seems to think so. Julius, being the more practical one, offers a different interpretation. He suggests that what we are seeing could be a flare from someone in a distressing situation, or perhaps the light of a drone at work. You've seen the clip. What do you also think? In this next footage, an unseen observer behind the camera captures a scene that, if genuine, prompts unsettling inquiries about government actions and the possible concealment of extraterrestrial technology. In the video, we can see what looks like a saucer being moved to somewhere unknown. In an age marked by ongoing speculation about encounters with aliens, the image of a saucer-shaped craft being transported adds fuel to the enduring discussion on government secrecy and further deepens the mystery, raising questions about the extent of the government's knowledge and its role in keeping such information under wraps. As much as I'd love to believe the government was truly transporting a saucer, even I know that they won't transport such a thing publicly and in broad daylight. This has to be some of the worst thought-out fakes we've ever come across, don't you think? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more videos like this for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. In a bizarre and unexplained event caught on video, a cat steals the spotlight by seemingly defying the laws of physics. The feline casually walks through a solid wall, leaving viewers puzzled and prompting questions of reality. This anomaly sparks speculation among those who witnessed the footage, prompting a range of theories from glitches in the recording to the presence of a ghostly or supernatural entity. The ghostly aspect is particularly intriguing, suggesting the possibility of an otherworldly creature or a supernatural phenomenon manifesting in the form of a cat. But like all of this strange footage we come across, you never really know. Next, we've got a peculiar and curious situation. A man put a fish into an opening that led to a body of water below, and suddenly something snatched the body of the fish off, leaving just the head in his hand. Just like me, I know you might be wondering what creature could be down there that took the fish from his hand. The possibilities are intriguing and alarming. It could be a large predatory fish like a pike or a barracuda, known for their powerful jaws and swift, deadly strikes. Another possibility is an alligator or a crocodile if the water connects to an area where these reptiles live. With their formidable bite strength and lightning-fast reactions, they can easily snap up a fish, leaving a stunned onlooker with just the remnants. The truth, however, is simple. It's hard to tell what we're dealing with. The man, however, appears to know what's down there. One thing we could be happy and thankful for is the fact that at least the man's fingers are intact. You know that haunting feeling of being watched that leaves the hairs on your skin raised? A woman experienced this chilling sensation whilst out in the woods in broad daylight in Connecticut. She stumbled upon an abandoned shack, and as she got closer, she began to feel uneasy, as if she was not alone and someone or something was watching her. To settle her fears, she took out a camera and began to look around but saw nothing, so she decided to return home. At home, she reviewed the footage to see if she had missed anything during her initial search. As she scrutinized the video, she saw it. A dark figure crouched at the side of the shack, its neck stretched out and staring right at her. This figure didn't resemble any wildlife animal she knew, and the sight of it sent chills down her spine. Disturbed by her discovery, she shared the footage online, hoping to find out what this eerie figure could be. The video started quite an uproar among viewers. Some suggested it could be a shadow person, a type of paranormal entity often reported in haunted locations. Others speculated it might be a cryptid, a creature whose existence is suggested but not scientifically confirmed, like Bigfoot or the Jersey Devil. A few skeptics proposed that the figure could be a trick of the light or a result of pareidolia, where the human mind sees familiar patterns like faces and random objects. Some even thought it might be a person living in the shack, possibly a hermit, or someone hiding from society. What do you think it is? In this next footage, originating from a temple in India, a unique and seemingly unconventional ritual unfolds, leaving observers both fascinating and bewildered. The worshippers engage in a practice that involves rolling on the ground until reaching a specific hole. Once at the hole, they proceed to put their heads inside and contort their bodies in a manner. This leaves us wondering if this form of worship was a sacred practice specific to this temple, or perhaps a ritual with deeper spiritual significance for those there. While it may look bizarre to outsiders like us, there's the possibility that it holds some profound meaning, driving all the participants involved to do so. In this mesmerizing sky footage, against the backdrop of a serene blue sky and elegant clouds, an unusual phenomena unfolds. We see the clouds move in a rather unorthodox manner, which leaves all who witnessed it with lots of questions. It's almost as though the clouds become sentient. Before you entertain all sorts of thoughts, allow me to say, don't be alarmed. What you're seeing could be a fascinating weather phenomenon called the crown flash. Now, let me break it down. Sunlight passes through small ice crystals above a cumulonimbus cloud. These crystals align with the cloud's electric field. When lightning strikes the cloud, it reorients the ice crystals, resulting in the unique and surreal crown flash effect. Almost like the clouds made their disco light show. But is that what's happening here? Well, I think I'll let you decide on that. Next, let's dive into this spine-chilling clip. This dog owner was enjoying some time with his canine pal until the dog started acting like this. It was growling whilst focusing intently on one corner of the room. As the dog trembled with unease, the owner, unable to perceive the supposed threat, grappled with the unsettling reality that their canine companion could have sensed something beyond our physical plane. He thinks the dog may have sensed a ghost, which, when you think about it, isn't too impossible. Animals are known to be quite sensitive to energies and entities beyond human detection, and this situation right here might just have proven that fact, unless you think there's a more logical explanation. Anyway, care to share your thoughts? A Facebook user recently shared a mesmerizing video featuring two intrepid divers exploring the ocean's hidden wonders. It was meant to be an ordinary clip, until it wasn't. In the background, two massive creatures with an uncanny resemblance to extinct dinosaurs glide by. Naturally, all who saw this were confused and didn't know what to make of it. I showed the clip to Julius, and well, he thinks given their long necks and all, they might be plesiosaurs. Now, this isn't my forte, but plesiosaurs were a type of marine reptile that existed approximately 252 to 66 million years ago and are mostly sometimes referred to as the Loch Ness Monster. Although they lived alongside dinosaurs, plesiosaurs were not exactly dinosaurs, and they had a distinct ecological role in marine environments. Along with various other marine reptiles, plesiosaurs became extinct around 66 million years ago. So it's quite a shock to spot a creature that looks so much like one. So could these really be plesiosaurs, or are we actually mistaking the Loch Ness Monster for one? Next, we visit Japan, where a driver in Tokyo has a spooky tale to share. While on his late-night rides, the car's security set inside captured something disturbing. As the driver enters the tunnel, the security footage reveals the manifestation of a strange figure in the passenger seat. The apparition, however, vanishes as soon as the driver exits the tunnel. The pattern repeats in another tunnel, with the figure reappearing, its features becoming clearer. It appears to have a pale face, long, messy hair, and a feminine appearance. The ghostly passenger appears to be a woman. Despite the spectral presence, the figure does not pose any harm to the driver, simply sitting in the dark and disappearing upon reaching a brighter area. But who or what could she be? Could it be one of his passengers who had met her untimely fate on the road with him, or could it be a loved one keeping him company on his night job? The mysteries of the natural world never cease to amaze. In this intriguing footage, a strange creature is seen moving on a rock. Initially, I thought it was a fish, but as the camera moved closer, it appeared that I had no idea what this creature was. It is orange in color and long. It has hair on its body and tiny legs that move like centipedes. Could it be a new species, perhaps an undiscovered life form, or a visitor from the depths of the unknown, here to perplex and intrigue? Share your thoughts on this. This image was taken at night, and you can definitely tell just by how grainy the whole thing looks. Given the fact that the image was taken at night, only the outline of the creature captured in it is visible. The dark, shadowy figure stands out against the dim background, making it difficult to discern any specific features beyond its unusual head size and familiar bipedal stance. Could this really be? Yeah, if you said Bigfoot, then you were definitely thinking what I was thinking. Bigfoot is typically described as an ape-like creature with a domed head and a human-like posture. This creature resembles a Bigfoot, except that it has a very small head. Is this just a small-headed Bigfoot, or is there something else going on here? Calling on all Bigfoot experts, please educate us. And if you didn't think any of those clips were weird enough, pay attention to the flower the young guy drops on the coffin. Did you see that? It somehow got absorbed into the coffin, almost as though whomever was buried was taking it. This freaked me out and is still freaking me out. Can anyone offer an explanation to what would make sense? If you have such an experience as well, please share. There are stories of how animals used to be double or triple their size now in ancient times. Fossil records reveal the existence of colossal creatures like the megalodon shark and prehistoric mammals. The reduction in the size of modern animals has been linked to several factors such as environmental changes, adaptations, and evolutionary processes. But this footage right here might be proof that there are still some creatures who might have skipped evolution and other factors. In the video, someone finds a massive crab claw. Now, to give you a sense of scale, when the person put their hand next to it, the claw is more than 3 times the size of their hand. As fascinating as this may seem, it's quite alarming. If a crab claw is this size, then the whole creature must be the size of a boat or, dare I say, a ship. I mean, if this is real, then you can't help but wonder what other giant creatures could there be out there. We haven't even wrapped our heads around the idea of Bigfoot being real. Then this, a giant crab? What's next? A kraken? In the quiet night skies of Kentucky on December the 21st, 2023, an unsettling phenomenon unfolded. A face, complete with a nose, closed eyes, and a mouth, appears out of nowhere, startling the family that recorded the footage. The presence of the face was so pronounced, making the dogs a bit uneasy. Once this hit the internet, everyone was trying to explain what it could be. Some suggested it might be a Project Bluebeam, a theoretical conspiracy involving the projection of holographic images onto the sky to manipulate public perception. In the spirit of entertaining wild ideas, let's consider and accept this. I mean, there are other possibilities. While you might be tempted to say no, one stands out to me. The whole thing is a complete hoax. That might make me sound like a skeptic, but it's the gospel truth. My truth may, however, be different from yours, so let us know what you think of this face in the sky. On a bright, sunlit day, an unsuspecting woman found herself being confronted by an eerie and mysterious sight. There on the wall of that building is the unmistakable silhouette of a person's shadow. Do you see it? That's definitely not your ordinary shadow. No, this one stands out, and there's no one around to cast it. We double-checked to see if it was painted, and no, it's not a painted mural or a trick of the light either. It's a genuine shadow that seems to have a life of its own. How is this plausible? Well, it's not. We believe there's got to be something supernatural going on here. Aaron thinks we may be dealing with a shadow person. For those unfamiliar with the term, a shadow person is a term used in folklore to refer to a dark, shadowy figure that looks like a person, just like we're seeing in the footage. There's, however, not been evidence of their existence until this clip. What do you think? Genuine or fabricated? In the expansive sky where the horizon meets the unknown, TikToker @Daniel Velez Wagner, a skilled glider pilot, recently experienced an extraordinary moment. While flying solo through the clouds, he captured a breathtaking scene that has amazed viewers. And if you guessed UFO, you are right. Wait, I put that in the title of the clip, so you have already seen it. Anyway, do you believe that's a UFO zooming past his glider at incredible speed? Everyone who's seen the clip thinks so, but some are not so convinced. They think the object just doesn't blend too well with the environment, meaning it has to be edited footage. Take a second look and tell me what you think, edited or the real deal. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Believe me when I say the skies over Motherwell, Scotland certainly know how to put on a show. This footage showcases a luminous spectacle resembling a sparkly object dancing in the night sky, leaving a trail of light in its wake, but it leaves behind the question, what could it be? Some suggest the possibility of fireworks, known for their shimmering and sparkling effects. Others also suggest extraterrestrial involvement, attributing the spectacle to the work of aliens. The idea of an otherworldly presence often arises when explained phenomena occur, so that's not surprising. On a more whimsical note, some have entertained the notion of a fairy or a human-sized Tinkerbell enchantingly gracing the night sky with a magical performance. While this remains the most bizarre of theories, if we have giant crabs, then this theory could very much be true, don't you think? In the calm stillness of the night, a luminous anomaly pierces the sky, an object resembling a luminous rocket ascending through the darkness. The questions start swirling. Is it a spacecraft launching into the great unknown, a meteor putting on a fiery show, or perhaps something else entirely? No one can say for sure, but what's your take on this glowing rocket in the night sky? A celestial event, a man-made wonder, or maybe a touch of cosmic magic? Next, we have a clip from this woman who is just kicking it in her apartment one night, probably getting ready for bed or whatever, when she happens to glance out of her window up at the mountains.
No estoy buscando seguidores. Como pueden ver en todas mis fotos y videos.
That's when she sees this totally trippy display. These glowing blue lines, almost like tentacles, slithering and undulating across the sky. She whips out her phone to record the whole mind-bending scene through the glass. It's both eerily beautiful and downright bizarre. You still have to wonder, though, what could be responsible for causing something like that? Are we talking about legit paranormal activity here? Maybe some ethereal spirits just glazing across the night sky, leaving these glowing trails in their wake? Or is there more to it? Gives me chills just thinking about it. Julius and his skeptic kind, however, think it might be some weird trick of the light, like reflections bouncing off her window from inside her place. Very boring explanation, but possible, I suppose. Does it feel unexplainable? Well, maybe. Is it insanely cool? 100%. Anyway, you guys have seen it now. What do you also think about it? Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send a Bigfoot after you now, would you? In this mystifying video, a diligent worker is carefully placing boxes on a shelf when, without warning, the boxes decide to defy gravity and tumble off the shelves on their own. This is bizarre and, quite frankly, a bit upsetting. Yet this is just the beginning of a series of strange events. As the worker tries to make sense of the situation, something else happens. An unseen force pushes down some more boxes and takes control of his body and then drags him around as though he were a piece of paper. He told his managers, who didn't believe him until the CCTV footage was reviewed and this was seen. What do you think could be happening here? Are we dealing with a supernatural presence, a glitch in the fabric of reality, or perhaps a manifestation of undiscovered energies within the walls of the warehouse? Share your thoughts. Take a look at this incredible footage. In the video, someone is hiding in their closet while filming what appears to be a fairy flying around the room. Yes, you heard that right, a fairy. The tiny figure flutters over the bed and then goes to open a small pink box left on the bed. It's almost like watching a scene from a fairy tale. The detail in this footage is absolutely amazing. The fairy looks so real. It's hard to believe it could be anything else. But here's the thing. As much as we'd love to believe in real-life fairies, there's a good chance this is CGI. The way the fairy moves and interacts with the objects in the room was incredibly well done, but with today's technology, creating such realistic animations is possible. It's a perfect blend of magic and modern tech. What do you think? A passenger on a flight over Colombia captured this intriguing footage. From her window seat, she noticed a craft flying in the distance. It was cone-shaped with a sleek metallic exterior, reflecting the sunlight in a way that made it look almost otherworldly. As the plane continued its journey, the passenger kept her camera focused on the craft, which seemed to be maintaining a steady speed and altitude parallel to the aircraft. The footage shows the craft hovering smoothly with no visible means of propulsion, no wings, no rotors, nothing that resembled conventional aircraft technology. Enthusiasts and skeptics alike began to analyze the footage, offering various theories. Some suggested it could be an advanced military drone, while others speculated it was a genuine UFO. Which of them is your money on? Let us know in the comments section. A man was walking by a school when he noticed something strange. The school bus in the yard had children's figures running in it. However, it wasn't time for kids to be outside, and the bus wasn't meant for playing. So what exactly could be going on here? Curious, the man got closer to the bus to investigate, only to find out that what he thought were kids had eerily vanished from the bus. When he shared his story, those who heard it believed these figures were spirits of children who had passed away or childlike entities. However, skeptics argue that this could just be a well-crafted hoax. They suggest that reflections, shadows, or even projections could create the illusion of children inside the bus. Yet a similar incident occurred where a camera on a bus showed it filled with kids, and in the next second they'd all vanished. Is this a mere trick of light and shadow, or is something truly out of this world happening? Dogs protect their owners from physical harm, but what do you do when you can't see what your dogs are trying to protect you from? Confused? Well, watch this. It was a peaceful evening until the dog of the one filming started barking. Thinking someone might have snuck into the house, he quickly went to check the feed from his CCTV cameras, and what you're seeing on your screen is exactly what he saw. You do see it, don't you? Some invisible yet smoky and intangible being quickly ran across the compound or room. It repeats a few more times and there's still no tangible body in sight. The man is confused, and I can understand his confusion. I'm sure he was worried and thinking about what exactly had made its way to his home and how he could deal with it. Sure, he could trust his dog to deal with physical foes, but spiritual and intangible ones? Where does he go from there? Anyway, what do you think we could be dealing with? Share your thoughts with me in the comments section. Still on the strange sounds, a woman from Kansas shared this intriguing video. She'd gone into a barn when she noticed something unusual. The metal bars were vibrating as though something underground was causing the entire structure to shake. This incident draws an eerie parallel to the strange underground noises reported in Kentucky. Could these events be connected? Are there secret systems or tunnels being constructed below our feet? It's hard to say, but there are some who think that's the case. You've seen both clips, so what do you think?
That's a hiker.
No, it's not, bro. That's not a person.
That's way bigger than a hiker, bro.
Bro, that's not. Oh, it just disappeared. What the?
Just go, bro.
A group of friends noticed some unusual motion on a nearby mountain slope while hanging out at a home. Upon closer look, they saw what appeared to be a large humanoid figure walking steadily up the mountain. But just as they tried to make sense of it, the figure vanished into thin air. At first they assumed it was just a hiker making their way up the slope, but the sudden disappearance left them baffled. While the idea of something supernatural or otherworldly is intriguing, let's be honest, this footage screams fake. The vanishing act looks like it was edited. In fact, Julius walked in and said, "I know an Adobe edit when I see one." Either way, what do you think?
Person.
That's way bigger than a fucking hiker, bro.
Bro, that's not. Oh, it just disappeared. What the?
Just go, bro.
Nope.
These days, there are so many strange things happening that it's a wonder people invest in Ring cameras and make sure their doors are locked. However, some still don't fully grasp the importance of home security. Take a look at this unsettling footage. A family's Ring camera captured something eerie in the middle of the night while everyone was asleep. A strange woman holding a knife approached their front door. She stood there, disorientated and unstable, without saying a word. We don't know if the family called the police or if she eventually left on her own, as the footage ends with her still standing there. But this serves as a stark reminder to always double-check that your doors are locked and your home is secure, especially at night. The woman herself didn't seem okay, and I hope she eventually got the help she needed. Here we have another intriguing piece of footage sparking debate. Some boaters in the waters of British Columbia, Canada, spotted a strange figure rising partially out of the water. The footage is unclear, leaving it difficult to determine exactly what the creature could be. The big question is, could this be some sort of animal with its head out of the water, or are we witnessing the sighting of an unknown sea creature, perhaps even a legendary sea monster? I was heading toward the sea monster route with Aaron backing me up when Julius entered and said 3 words: bull, elephant, seal. Being the researcher I am, looked them up online, and surely enough, there's a 99% chance that he's right. Bull elephant seals are enormous marine mammals easily recognized by the male's distinctive trunk-like noses or proboscis, which they inflate to make loud roars. These males, known as bulls, can reach up to 20 feet in length and weigh around 8,800 pounds, with a thick, blubbery build that helps insulate them in cold ocean waters. Their skin is often scarred and wrinkled from aggressive fights during the breeding season, and the dark brown or grayish color gives them a rugged, almost prehistoric look. The thing, however, is elephant seals are not typically found in British Columbia. While they primarily inhabit the Pacific Ocean along the coasts of California and Baja California in Mexico, some northern elephant seals do occasionally venture as far north as the waters off Vancouver Island in British Columbia. However, sightings in this area are rare, as their main breeding grounds and colonies are much further south. British Columbia's coastlines are more commonly home to harbor seals, sea lions, and other pinnipede species. So this big mystery here is, what brought this bull to British Columbia if it's really an elephant seal? Some locals in Malaysia were enjoying a day at the beach when they noticed something unusual in the ocean near the horizon. It was something moving at an incredibly fast pace across the water. The movement was so swift and unusual that it was difficult to identify the shape or nature of the object. While fish can be fast swimmers, this speed seemed to defy what you'd expect from typical marine life, leaving witnesses baffled. Some members of the community even mentioned this, so it could be a marine creature or something entirely unexplained.
What are you doing?
This video was captured by a man out in Kentucky on what seemed like a regular bright day. Suddenly, he began hearing strange noises, but they weren't coming from the sky or any nearby machinery. Instead, the sounds were emanating from beneath the ground. Take a look and listen closely.
There's something under the ground. It sounds like it's about to bust out.
As he moves the camera toward the ground, you can hear the unsettling noise. There were no signs of construction work or activity in the area that could explain it. This has sparked plenty of speculation, with some suggesting it might be evidence of secret underground tunneling happening beneath the surface. But for what purpose? What could be going on beneath Kentucky?
It's over here in the field.
In today's world, where as so much of our personal and sensitive information is stored on computers, we rely heavily on passwords and security measures to keep it all safe. But just how secure is that information? A hacker recently shared a tactic that is as clever as it is frightening, and it makes you wonder how easily our digital lives could be compromised. The method he describes involves something as simple as a USB flash drive. Here's how it works. The hacker modifies a USB drive, programming it to automatically install malware when plugged into a computer. Then they deliberately leave the drive lying around in a public place, maybe on the ground outside an office, in a parking lot, or even in a coffee shop. This is to bait someone into picking it up out of curiosity. Once the unsuspected person plugs the USB into their computer to check what's inside, the malware silently installs itself, giving the hacker remote access to the computer's files, passwords, and personal data. It happens so fast that the user might not even notice anything unusual. Most of us wouldn't think twice about picking up a flash drive and checking it out, but that simple action can open the door to a cyber attack. So, next time you see a strange USB stick lying around, think twice before plugging it into your device. It's not worth the risk. Meanwhile, over in America, reports have allegedly surfaced of a U.S. warplane near the Canadian border shooting down a UFO. This isn't the first time something like this has happened either. In fact, 3 aerial objects have been shot down in the U.S. recently, and the mystery deepens as no one seems to know exactly what these objects are. One report describes one of these objects as octagonal in shape. What makes it even more puzzling is that the pilots who were ordered to take down these objects each gave different descriptions of what they saw. So, could these mysterious objects be something extraterrestrial? Are we dealing with advanced technology from beyond Earth? Or is there something else going on? Alligators are truly incredible animals, almost like creatures from another world. Recently, a group of people ventured into a swamp to capture some candid footage of one of these fierce predators. To keep a safe distance, they used a drone to film the alligator from above. But things took a wild turn when the drone drifted a bit too close. Instantly, the alligator raised its head, opened its powerful jaws, and snapped the drone in half with a single, crushing bite. The footage gets even more intense as thick smoke starts to rise from the damaged drone, yet the alligator remains completely unbothered, gliding through the water as if nothing happened. It's amazing to see just how powerful and unfazed these creatures can be. If you're a wildlife photographer or videographer, consider this a lesson on handling your gadgets around them. During the night shift at a construction site in Mexico, a security guard witnessed something chilling on the monitors. At first, he saw what looked like a woman with long hair walking by, but her movements were strange, tilted, almost unnatural. As if that was not enough, the figure began to glitch on the screen. Her hair vanished, and the once feminine form morphed into what seemed more like a man. In an unsettling twist, the figure slowly faded until it disappeared entirely. Stunned, the guard replayed the footage multiple times, hoping it was just a glitch or a trick of the camera, but each time it showed the same eerie transformation. What was this shifting apparition? Could it have been a restless spirit, or are we just seeing things? A man was jolted awake in the middle of the night by his dog howling loudly, which was unlike his dog. So he checked his security footage to see what might have triggered the commotion. What he saw was unsettling. In the darkness, a robed figure appeared, gliding eerily across his yard toward the corner of the house. The figure seemed to have a ghostly aura, and the robe it wore flowed as though caught in a strong breeze despite the stillness of the night. It's well known the animals, especially dogs, have heightened senses and are believed to perceive things humans cannot. This howling, which the man heard clearly in the footage, is often associated with the presence of spirits or otherworldly entities. The question is, what was this spectral figure? A family traveling through Quebec, Canada, had an unexpected and eerie encounter on the roadside. They spotted a large moose grazing peacefully near the trees, but as they watched, their attention shifted to something more unsettling among the foliage. In the shadows behind the moose, they noticed a pale humanoid figure crouching low to the ground. It seemed fixated on the moose, its movements slow and deliberate, almost as if it was stalking. However, this creature didn't resemble a typical predator. Its gaunt, otherworldly appearance resembled the infamous rake. The footage left the family disturbed as the pale figure moved closer to the moose. Unlike a lot of rake footage, something tells me this is not a hoax. Am I becoming sentimental, or are we onto something? This video comes from Liverpool, England, taken by a local resident at around 4 a.m. He spotted an unusual light in the sky and decided to record it. The light appears almost spherical at first, but what's truly strange is how it continually changes color and shape. Every second, it morphs into something different, making it hard to define exactly what it is. What do you think this could be? A natural phenomena or something else entirely? Up next, we have a man in Chile who wandered into a woodlands one evening, recording his journey for reasons unknown. As he ventured deeper, something unusual stopped him in his tracks. He stood frozen, staring into the darkness at what appeared to be a tall, narrow structure. At first, it looked like a simple pillar, but he believed it was definitely something much more. He then set his camera down and attempted to cautiously walk toward the object. As the man approached, the strange object illuminated for a brief moment, and in the blink of an eye, it vanished. Whatever it wasn't a solid structure at all, but something far more mysterious. It's said that this may have been some sort of entity. Some in the paranormal community even suggested it might be a night crawler. As interesting as that sounds, I've never seen anything like this before. Julius, our evergreen scientist, of course, is amused, but Aaron, our residential conspiracy theorist, smells something paranormal in that clip. You've seen the clip. What do you also think? First of all, would you buy something like this? According to the seller, the chair is haunted, and as you can see, they're even willing to give it away for free. The chair isn't, however, the only thing we've seen being sold like this. At least the chair is free, the others are not. We've come across haunted dolls, demon-attached pendants, and even complete houses being sold and advertised as being haunted. As creepy as that sounds, we've been trying to establish a bit of truth. Can spirits really bind to objects? If they can, how? Some think it's through possession, whereas others feel it's emotional attachment from their past lives. Sometimes they die while holding onto the object they are said to possess. When it comes to houses, the general thinking is that they become stuck with it. You know how we mentioned souls that have been killed or lost their lives tragically in places and become troubled spirits there? Yeah, something like that. But then again, all these are theories. We don't actually have proof that that's the case. But what do you guys think, though? Is it something that's possible? A homeowner was at work when he received a notification about movement in his house. Checking the live feed, he saw a cat standing at the door. Now, here's the weird part. He doesn't own a cat and the house was fully locked, so he reviewed the footage and guess what? The cat literally appeared out of thin air. So clearly this is no ordinary cat. Cats have long been linked to the supernatural, often seen as protectors or omens, both good and bad. So, could it be spiritual or just a hoax? An alleged alien abduction. Now, we're not exactly sure who this guy is, but he really believes what he's saying. According to him, he managed to get some footage of an alien before his abduction. I'm not sure how the clip you're watching was captured, whether by CCTV or by his phone, but he insists he recorded it before he was taken. If you pay attention to the clip, you should see a pinkish blip on it. This, according to him, is the alien that captured him. We've seen all types of aliens on this channel, but this is the first time we are seeing something like this, which has made even the lies of Aaron, who would believe anything paranormal, skeptical. The man in the clip repeatedly says that we might think he's crazy, but he's not. I have my own reservations, but I'd want to know, what do you think this could be? True? Or do we have someone trying to get their first 5 minutes of fame? Let's hear your thoughts. This clip comes from Cuba, where an observer captured something truly bizarre. A giant blue tube seems to extend from the sky down into the sea, almost like a column connecting the two. What's strange is that this wasn't a water spout or a tsunami, it was stationary, rooted in one spot. Most people who saw the footage are baffled, unable to explain what it could be. So what exactly are we looking at here? Could this be a natural phenomenon that we just don't fully understand yet, or is it something else entirely? Let's revisit this intriguing event from 2013. A couple went hiking in Mission, British Columbia, when they captured something astonishing on camera. While overlooking the forest, they spotted a massive creature moving below. It wasn't just its size that caught their attention, it was the way it walked. The creature moved on two legs with proportions that didn't resemble a bear or any other known wildlife in the area. When you take a closer look at the footage, it's hard not to draw comparisons to the legendary Bigfoot. Its gait, size, and upright posture seem to match the descriptions we've heard over the years. To be honest, this is one of the most convincing pieces of evidence of Bigfoot, don't you think? A man attending church decided to film the pastor's sermon. As he panned his camera toward a picture of Mary displayed on the church wall, something unusual happened. Captured on video was a small, white, human-like figure walking across the frame in front of the picture. It was quick, almost ghostly, and seemed to vanish just as mysteriously as it appeared. Now, here's where the debate begins. Many viewers are skeptical, calling it a hoax, pointing out the coincidences of the camera panning at just the right time to catch the figure. Others believe it could be something supernatural, a divine sign, or a spirit making its presence known. What do you think? A camera set up in a park captured something unusual during one of its recordings. When reviewing the footage, the team noticed an odd clip. From the left side of the screen, a bright floating light drifts in a view. But this isn't just another orb, it has a distinct portal-like glow illuminating the air around it. The light hovers briefly, moving slightly before floating back the way it came. The real mystery isn't just what this light might be, it's a debate over its authenticity. Julius, the resident skeptic, quickly dismissed it as a hoax, suspecting it was another staged attempt to generate buzz. Even Aaron, who's typically open to paranormal explanations, leaned toward it being fake. A rare stance for him. So what do you think? Is this strange light real or fake?
You must first blow all the air out of your lungs. I get wet. Did it work? Did it work? Yeah, it worked.
You know that fun party trick when you inhale helium from a balloon and your voice turns into Alvin and the Chipmunks? It's all laughs. Until it's not. Because as harmless as it seems, inhaling helium can actually be dangerous, as this girl found out the hard way.
No, tú no, Isa, no hace que te haga daño eso. ¿Qué pasa? ¡Ey! ¡No, Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa? ¡No, Daniela! ¡No, Daniela! ¡No, Daniela! ¡No, Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa? ¿Qué te pasa de qué? ¡No, Daniela, qué te pasa? ¿Qué te pasa de qué? ¿Por qué te pusiste morada?
She was in the car with her little sister and her mother, just having some fun. Sitting in the front seat next to her mom, she inhaled from a helium balloon, giggling as that squeaky cartoon voice kicked in. But then, just as suddenly, it all went wrong. The moment she inhaled again, her body went stiff, her head slumped to the side, and she stopped responding. Her mom noticed and panicked, yelling her name, trying to wake her up. Thankfully, after a few terrifying moments, she came back to herself, confused, dazed, and completely unaware of what just happened. Turns out, when you inhale too much helium, you're not breathing in oxygen. Just one deep breath can cause you to pass out, or worse, because your brain isn't getting what it needs. Yeah, it can be fatal. So yeah, it might sound funny at first, but helium isn't a joke. This girl was lucky. Her mom acted fast, but not everyone gets that second chance. So the next time you see a balloon, maybe skip the chipmunk voice impression.
No, tú no, Isa, no hace que te haga daño eso. ¿Qué pasa? ¡Ey! ¡No, Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa? ¡No, Daniela! ¡No, Daniela! ¡No, Daniela! ¡No, Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa? ¿Qué te pasa de qué? ¡No, Daniela, qué te pasa? ¿Qué te pasa de qué? ¿Por qué te pusiste morada?
And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have.
Share this with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.